And in today's video we're going to build the trunk on the Sunfire. It's about 41 degrees Celsius out today with the humidity, and I got my little fan just blaring, trying to keep cool. But anyway, we're going to start to notch this thing and get her going. The tank's already in, so I'm just going to cover it up and hopefully we won't blow ourselves up. But with the trunk open, there's those two little slots there. We're essentially going to grind down into there, a slit there to make a notch, and then the exact same on the other side. Slit there and a slit down there. So I'll grab the grinder and we'll get her all grinded out, and then I'll show you guys how everything looks after. Okay, we just got done cutting the notches out in this, and I'm going to try something different on this car. In the previous video I said to notch right here. If you don't have access to anything that can like any chains or anything like that, I would recommend just, like I said, the two notches right here opposed to here. But anyway, I'll show you the basics of it. You just grab a grinder and you want to notch it just wide enough that you can get a sledgehammer in there. Essentially what we're going to do is I'm going to take it off the ramps and I'm going to put a couple jack stands under the frame, and then I'm going to grab the old trusty sledgehammer, and while it's up on the jack stands we're just going to hammer everything down so the frame starts to bend up. Okay, so I just threw a jack up with a couple pieces of wood to go all across the bumper, so you have kind of equal support on each end. Threw a jack stand in there just in case everything starts to slide off. But all we're going to do now is we're just going to grab our hammer. We'll start with a little hammer, just start hammering both of those notches there down, and then once you get them started with a little hammer, then grab a sledge and just hammer the crap out of it. And essentially what you're going to want to do, or what you're going to see happen, is the back bumper is going to start to come up, and you're going to have less of a gap in between these two notches that we cut. It's like 40 something degrees out, like that's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, I know that. So it's going to be a hot day to be hammering, but oh well, better than welding. Okay, it's fairly hard to notice it on the camera, but if you can see, I just hammered this part of the frame down, and the bumper is actually a little bit more lifted up. But like I said, I am transferring force throughout the whole bumper using these pieces of wood, so that's all hammered down. I will do a bit more hammering. You can now see the angle of the frame is starting to come up compared to back there where it's flat. So this is exactly what we want. We want the back trunk to roll up into the trunk lid, and then once it hits the trunk lid, we're going to want it to roll again right there. But we do not want to make a separate notch like we did here, just due to the fact that if you have too many notches in your frame, especially deep notches like that, the trunk's going to fold up in two hits, and then you're not going to have any fun whatsoever once you're done. So by chaining it here, we're just going to make a very, very slight notch, just enough to say that it's going to start to roll up. So once this part of the trunk here starts to roll up into the trunk lid and starts to hit everything, still going to give this frame a chance to bend up as well, so we're not going to be left with our trunk on the grounds. That's the before, and that's the after. Alright, it's been a very slow and hot day, I'll tell you that right now. We got all of our welds done here, welded the doors, we welded the trunk lid. We are allowed 6 plates per panel, so after our welding's done, to start pre-bend, I just took some 9-wire, wrapped a few strands in between the two headlights there. I guess they're not really headlights or taillights, but I wrapped a few strands in there, tightened everything up. Now we're going to take our sledgehammer and start pounding in on this bottom lip here, and starting to come up the trunk lid. And you still want to have everything supported on the bumper as well, because when you start banging down on the trunk, it's actually going to help that frame kind of go up a little bit more. So yeah, I'll get to starting to bang all this out.
So unfortunately, this pretty much ends our Sunfire Cavalier build series. For some reason, I don't have the final video to this segment here. So I'm just going to do a talk over of some of these the pictures of the cars that I've built, and you can see the trunk and how it's kind of designed. This car bent actually kind of funny. I never got a chance to put the chains in like I wanted to get the rest of the frame to bend up. The car kind of went on the back burner there for a bit, and before we knew it, it was Derby day, so this car pretty much got ran. In the Derby, the trunk did start to go up, and unfortunately took a really hard shot in the back, and then that just pushed everything right back down. So I mean, I was never dragging the trunk on it per se, but it didn't go up and it didn't bend the way I wanted it to. the derby that I ran this at, you weren't allowed to run rear window bars either, so that of course kind of sucked, but either way, we made the best of it. We got third place with the car, blew out an axle, and I do have an after video for that that's coming up, so I guess that's really it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the build series so far, and I hope that everything goes great with the Sunfire you're building. And of course, if you ever have any questions, I'm definitely free to answer them. Just shoot me a PM and we'll go from there. Anyway, guys, it's been a slice building with you, and I really hope that everyone enjoys the rest of their derby season. So don't forget to do all the normal stuff, you know, like, subscribe, comment, tell everyone, and yeah, derby on.